Welcome to Half Cracked, and today we will be looking at the Get.Component function in Unity. We will be going over how to get a component on an object with a script, and then find that component on another script attached to another object. Let's get started. Okay, for my simple scene, we have a few items here. We have our player and game master. And the game master in this instance is just an empty object, but you can use anything you want. So the first thing I want to do is find a component on my player object. So first we need a component to identify. So I'm going to go over here to the right in the inspector, click Add Component, get rid of that, scroll down, and I'm going to go under Physics and add a rigid body. And I'm going to just take off gravity for a moment so I don't have to worry about that. Now over here in the Asset folder under Projects, I'm now going to right click, Create C# script, and we will be calling the script player for this example. Enter. Now there are two ways that you can apply this script. You can either physically select your object and drag it down, or you can go Add Component and type out the name of your script. Hit Enter and assign it. Either way, we will be opening it in MonoDevelop or Visual Studios or anything that you'll be using today. I just so happen to be using Visual Studios. So what we need to do is we need to tell Unity that we have a thing that we want found. And in our case, it is a rigid body. So what I want to do is I want to make this one a private one, but I also want to be able to see it in the inspector. So that way we don't have to use any debugs to determine whether it's been filled or not. So to do that, we will make a serialized field. Oops. There you go. This allows us to see private things in the inspector. And I'm just going to type rigid body for the rigid body and give it a name RB, semicolon, and there we go. And we can either put it in the start or wake function. For this example, we're just going to put it in the start function. And what that means is the moment that this script initializes is when something happens. So we're going to call our rigid body, or RB, equals GetComponent to carets, and then type in, and I'm just going to go ahead and double click and copy rigid body, put the rigid body inside the two carets, parentheses, semicolon, and we are good. Save my script, and we're going to head over to Unity. Click on the player so we can view it in the inspector. And as you can see, we have our rigid body icon, and even though it is a private object, we can still see it. So let's see if our code works. Hit play. And it should automatically be assigned the moment you hit start. So that's good. But that's only useful if you have something on the object itself that you want to identify. What if, for instance, you want your game master to be able to detect something from the player? Well, we can do that. So let's head over to our player object again, and let's give it something else, something to identify. So we want to make sure that something else can detect it. So we make it a public, and we're going to do a bool, a yes or no type thing, and we'll call it thing, semicolon. Save that. Let's go back over to our scene. Go over in the project panel, right click, and let's create our game master script. So C# again, I'm just going to call it GM, hit enter, and I'm now going to apply it by selecting the game master and either dragging it in, as I'm doing right now, or go into the add component. Now that we have that all set up, let's go to the GM script by opening it up in your editor. And there are two ways that we can do this, and both are valid. It just depends on what you want to do at the time, and we'll go over both. The first one, we're going to assume that you want to be able to detect the player object as well as the script that's on it. Maybe you just want to keep track of the player object itself, and the other one, you want that specific script that's attached to it. So here's that one. Serialized field again, serialized field, and game object, because we are looking for the specific game object, and we'll call it player. Enter again. And for this other one, we're looking specifically for the script. So we need the name of the script. And in my case, it's player with a capital P. And we need to then name it. And I'm just going to call it capital P. So I have all my variables that I need. And I want to initialize all this at the very start. And the reason that we have both of them up here is because to find the script, you also need the game object that it's attached to. So we have to do this in order. Alright, so the first thing we want to find is the player game object. And we define that as player, silly guy, equals game object with a capital G, dot find object with tag. And the tag we are looking for is player. We haven't assigned it yet, but we will. But what's going on here is we're telling Unity, hey, we need to find a thing called player. It is a game object, and it has a specific tag that we're looking for, and that tag is player. So what Unity is, it will take its notes, run out to the program, kick down doors, until it finally finds exactly what it needs, then it brings it back for you. So let's save that, go back to our scene, and actually apply the tag to our player by selecting the object, going over here to tag in the inspector, click it, you'll have a drop-down menu, and for me, it's just right here. If you have other tags, you can use those as well, or you can just add your own by clicking Add Tag. But since we, in this example, don't need to do that, we're all set. So let's go back in here and set up the other thing. And now for here, it's much of the same, except we're looking specifically for the script, and we define that as P equals player dot GetComponent, carrots again, and name of the script between the carrots, and open and close parentheses in the right place. There you go, and semicolon, and save that. And what this is telling Unity is, hey, I'm looking for something on P. It's located on the player object, which we've defined up here, and the specific component we want is a script entitled player. So let's hit save, go back, and we should see all this in the inspector under the game object. Sorry. Let's copy that, put that down here. Or you know what, even better, let's make this a public. There we go. Now we can see both of them. And let's hit play and let's see if it does it automatically. And it has gone ahead and assigned both of them. Fantastic, which is what we wanted. But let's just say that we don't want two of these things. And we don't want to worry about the game object. We don't care about keeping track of the player. In fact, all that we care about is just the script. What do you do there? Well, we're actually going to end up combining the two steps into one. So what we do is P equals game object dot find object with tag, and then we place the tag in there, which is player dot because it is another set of instructions, and from there we go GetComponent carrots name of a script, which is no, don't do that, which is player in my case. Dump it in there, open and close parentheses, and semicolon. Perfect. And let's do that. That way I can actually get rid of the serialized field because we don't need it. At least I don't. You can still use it if you feel like it. I just don't feel like it. Save. Let's go back. Should be able to see P, which is our script. Okay. Hit play, and it should automatically apply it. And it did. And it specifically, look, player. Player and player script. They're the same here. And there you go. That's it for today. And I hope you enjoyed this video. All the relevant social media links are down below. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and spread this thing across the web like a virus, infecting every single computer that we can, so that everyone may know the pleasures, the wonders of game object, find with tag, thing, dot, get component, other thing. Have a good day.